just
let's
here
go.
behind the scenes, we've been chomping at the bit for this one.
Indeed, we are, man. This is fantastic stuff. Sentinels, the pound-for-pound best team in North America, going up against a very shocking Cloud9 Blue, who seem on fire since Challengers 2 began, absolutely tearing through everyone. The only match they've been dropping since Challengers 2 started and throughout the Challengers finals is indeed against this Sentinel squad, and Haven has been a huge piece of why Cloud9 Blue has been so successful, upsetting several different top 5 teams in the region to find themselves now just one match away from potentially going over to Iceland, but they do come in as the underdog in this matchup. They're running their ever so classic double duelist composition of Poise and Leaf, Leaf being one of the top 3 duelists in performance in Challengers 2 and in the Challengers finals thus far. Absolutely maddening at that, and then everyone else is kind of playing what you'd expect. Floppy, like they said on the desk, been, adopting that Astra. We've been seeing Zeta playing Sova throughout his career, the majority of the time, other than a couple of brief stints with like a Breach or a Sky, or even when he briefly did some jet hopping in his own right. Then obviously Mitch has been a heavy Sentinel player for bulk of his career. Obviously, over on the Sentinel side of things, ever since Tin stepped onto the team, we've been seeing Shazam kind of sacrifice a bit and allow Tins to have the jet while he takes the Sova. Of course, Shazam was already a Sova main on Bind, but he's expanded that throughout the rest of the map pool to, again, allow Tins to be the Tins that we know and love. And then everybody else is what you'd expect, right? Sick getting to play that Phoenix. Again, the rock of the team, one of the most consistent stars in NA Valorant is Sick, and man, this is going to be fireworks, bro, because both these teams have been so hot on Haven lately. Cloud9 Blue has only dropped Haven 3 times since March out of 20 games played, one of which was the Sentinels, though, of course, in the grand finals of Challengers 2. And then Sentinels, since Tins has been on the team, 81% win rate on Haven, dude. This is going to be a banger.
Absolutely. I cannot wait. We're getting underway as the gates come down and tends to kick things off. The first kill. Whoa, leaning the way of Sentinels, and now things get a little spooky here for Cloud9 Blue.
Yeah, I mean, the timing that you can create now on that long A position with the Astra allows for heavier engagements through sewers defensively to get picks like that. Tins takes full advantage. Gravel also slowing down the timing on the C take, as we know that Sentinels are kind of have to play for the retake, but Poise finds the greatest time ever to backstab through window and blindside Dapper, but Tins and company holding on, but the response from Cloud9 has been swift as well. But Tins, it's gonna go all the way for the ace. You have to be kidding me. Tins, he starts it and he finishes it. The Alpha and Omega to kick off this series, Tanner.
What a way to get things started. And like you said, Dustin, it all started with the awkward timing from that Astra. They're allowed to get sewers control. They find that first kill. They make the full rotation over. And Tens closes it out, and that's gotta be a bittersweet feeling for this player as he stares in the face of Cloud9, his former squad. And it is gonna be a full save. We do see that frenzy on Poise, but
oh my goodness.
This is scary. Right off the rip, you can see the hype train is getting started.
Yeah, that is unreal that he's pulled that off. Again, Poise had such a good backstab there through window. Made you think he was going to disrupt that rotation in back halls, but to no avail. Tins blocks down the spike despite all the chaos thrown his direction. Now they get the freebie round, right? Didn't see too heavy of an investment here from the Cloud9 side of things, so Sentinels will be able to mop up no problem as we try to, bring the energy back down for a bit, but I imagine we won't stay there for long, Taylor. I imagine we're in store for a lot more hype. There's just so much on the line here. This is the biggest match of most of these guys' careers in Valorant. The chance to represent NA in the first international LAN, really one of the first LANs, period, in Valorant history. So a lot goes into this, man. So many mind games, so much pressure, so much stress, and so much excitement. And I just can't wait to keep going, man.
Goes here. Yes.
And this is where, like you said, the pressure kind of it starts to build. So just as we kind of do on our end of things, the players now need to take a deep breath and just remember, right? You turn names off and you're just playing Valorant. It's 2 quick rounds the way of Sentinels. Now a rifle round here for Cloud9 Blue, and a couple of rifles to matches. Hens force one up in the last round, and Sick and have a Phantom in hand. And with these rifles, Cloud9 Blue taking it very slow.
Yeah, they want to make sure that they get their cards right in this situation. They want to not...
Huge drone.
Yeah, this drone is big to catch this aggression that Tins and company were trying to set up at sewers, but it doesn't matter. Knowing's only half the battle as Zoms is still standing here. on this bonus Spectre. Good for one. Floppy, a big trade to at least keep it even, which will keep the defense a bit spread thin and perhaps allow Cloud9 Blue to pivot and try to find a vulnerability here, as they're putting a lot of faith in Dapper to anchor that C side. They have the Astro Orb kind of blocking B entrance because they want to keep this focus on A side of the map, and they would be right to do so because Sentinels aren't letting, or Cloud9 is not letting up.
And not letting up at all, and I think maybe they were expecting Sentinels to do the same, but the fight for the sewers will continue. Now Sick rearing up to get quite a bit of value. Boy's gonna peek this corner. The first kill comes on through. Zeta to trade it back, and now it's all up to Dapper, who's been huge in this tournament thus far. He's got a Spectre in hand and 3 players to worry about. Mitch is gonna be the first to contact on this. The kill to come through in the rifle round to Cloud9 Blue. They're on the board, and I guess that kind of shakes the question. Are they nervous? Do they have the nerves? No, they come right into this one stalwart.
Yeah, this is, you know, a great response from Cloud9. They were dealing with the stat. They were dealing with aggression. They lost the opening pick, but then the follow-up was just very decisive. And to get around on the board early after suffering to the 10's ace in the pistol round and having to eco and all that good stuff, it's good to see them have that quick response. And we are going to see the rifles being bought up, though, from Sentinels, so there is only a judge for Sick, and actually still a Spectre for Zoms and 10's, relying on the daggers only, pretty much, but I mean, they couldn't be in more capable hands.
Absolutely, especially on this map. We saw it slip away a little bit, and it was looking scary against 100 Thieves, but Sentinels were able to reel it back in and close it out, and then eventually the series, now they're looking to go right to work, down C long, a classic in hand. Sick, unfortunately, not able to find too much, but the shock darts are able to finish off Zeta. The knives are still on line, I believe, for 10's, although chipped away, but very favorable trades. You got a kill on the board, and the HP is so low. Poison Leaf are hurting.
Yeah, 10's not getting a frag, but I feel like he and Sick were definitely a part of the assist that led to that shock dart frag, so definitely still having value in the round to really thwart what Cloud9 were hoping to attempt that long C, and now 10's even pushes down the clear closet, knowing that no presence is still there, allows him to kind of pivot more towards, you know, this back hall area and into D side itself. But unfortunately for them, Leaf has taken control of Garage with a couple of teammates. He's gotten another kill here. That's going to kind of even the numbers now as they're lined to look into the C site. They had that Nebula smoke up, blocking off the back halls, but the Gravwell slows down their progression, allowing them to get in sight to back up Sick. Great move by Zoms.
Spotted barely on the back end, but he's still able to find the kills, and the judge is starting to go to work. Sentinels pick up the round.
Huge there. You got to give a lot of credit to Zoms. Again, he's kind of the unsung hero a lot of times of the Sentinel squad. He's very good at clutching. He's got great decision making, and he was very quick to be able to adopt Astra and use her effectively. That Gravwell at that garage hallway, so pivotal to allow him to make sure that his teammate inside the site wasn't going to be stranded, that he was going to be able to back him up for trades, and trades weren't even required. They just clean house, man. Really quick response from Sentinels, not letting Cloud9 Blue build up any momentum off that first gun round that they got. And now you can see what Cloud9 Blue are left with here. They're going to have to go Sheriff on Floppy, Frenzy on Mitch. So definitely a halfway buy. Sick trying to get aggressive here. Out in middle. Oh, no, he didn't stop the Boombot. He thought that his hot hands would take care of the job. He miscalculated. It cost him his life. And in a round that was a mixed buy for Cloud9 Blue, that's a huge advantage to get so early.
Yeah, and forgive me, but I didn't see if the run it back was available before death or on death there. So either way, a huge ultimate to no longer have, a huge player to no longer have for this Sentinel squad. As Cloud9 Blue, they're on a labored buy. It's only 3 rifles for this team and a couple of pistols. So this is definitely a Sentinels round to win. And Shazam is looking to swing it right back. The first onto Floppy. Not going to find the next, but a tag surely will do enough. Leaf once more, lower HP. It should be spotted by the drone. Tries to push it right to Shazam. The ticks are there, but Shazam finds the shot in the frenzy, just not able to do enough.
Oh, I didn't think he'd be able to recover in time. I thought that with the timing of that drone death that he might get caught with his pants down a bit, but able to recover and get the kill anyhow. Leaf, though, huge kill onto Dapper, allowing this spike plant to come through and even numbers back up to a 3-on-3, making this retake much more difficult in Sentinels. They have no ults in play. They have to rely strictly on gunplay, but Zeta cutting them off at the pass here at this lower rotation point.
Things once more have since slowed down. Shazam lower HP after that earlier duel. Able to find the first HP. Doesn't matter. A 3K for the Sova. Zeta not able to get on the board to match, and it's Leaf. The low HP raise in a 1v2. Both players are low, but he's got to try and kill them both, and he can't do it. Shazam picks up 4, just as Sentinels do as well.
Shazam, such a big factor in that round. Obviously, the 4 kills on the surface kind of already indicate that, but when you look at it more deeply, you comb through all the fine details. Again, getting that drone out in B, getting this off as well, but prior to that to get them back in. And again, this recovery is so big, you think Mitch has to jump on him for sure. The timing would not favor Shazam, but he gets it anyway. Low health, still swings out poise, and then he jumps down. And really, I think his play there was just to be more bait for Zoms, right? To kind of allow him to really be the trade fragger, but again, just takes care of it by himself. And this is now going to have a run it back in play for Sick. It's going to be an eco here for Cloud9 Blue, so they may not even choose to use it here, but if they need it, they got it. And they are just starting to really set a good pace here to kick off Haven. Again, the pick of Cloud9 Blue, they've been tearing everyone else up on, but Sentinels is a different beast, man. And when you come for that, you best not miss.
We're round 6 here on Haven, and I think most notably, every single round matters here when you're looking back to recent where Sentinels have this incredible lead over 100 Thieves, but then they almost lose it. They were able to close it out, like I said earlier, but the more you give Cloud9 Blue with your Sentinels, the scarier things can be, because we have seen worst case scenario situations. Now it's a quick take towards B. The spike going to be following up, and the Nebula Smoke's going to block out both connectors for now. So at the very least, Floppy will get that spike down, but Zom's going to go to work, going to find the kills. Instead, he'll gladly trade a spike plant for some kills, and Shazam is there to back him up with Floppy. With the Sheriff, this was the round to go the way of Sentinels, but Cloud9 Blue surely look to make it hurt. 2 kills and a spike plant on the round, but Sentinels can pick up 5.
Yeah, with what was invested, all you can really hope for is if you get like some miracles off the Sheriffs, but really the primary job there is to get that spike plant, get that economy, and maybe try to force some rebuys out of your opponent, right? Try to keep their credits somewhat in check, which they have been able to accomplish. So kind of a small victory there for Cloud9 Blue, but unfortunately, close doesn't count anymore. Sentinel's lead is building to just such a high level right now. And here's the thing about their Haven. You know, their attacking side is far superior, right? They're near 64% win rate attacking side on Haven as opposed to 58% on the defense. So with them doing this well on such a large map where rotations can be hard and defenses can sometimes struggle, I mean, they're loving this right now. They're laughing all the way to the bank at this point. So Cloud9 Blue need to make a statement quick, and this is what they're choosing to try to put forward to do it. Cosmic Divide to try to get into the C site, but here comes Sick on the ult, and it gets canceled out by the showstopper. That's still not the best use of that rocket.
Yeah, and we're seeing the Cosmic Divide is sometimes so hard to use as a Hunter. Shuri's gonna be traded back and forth. Zeta gets nothing, but Shazam gets 2. You pushed up to the site, but it was all for naught. Mitch gonna fall out towards mid, and it's only 1 kill traded. Floppy and Zeta need to do something huge to try and pick up another round, and they're gonna find themselves on another labored bye.
Yeah, it's tough because at least you stop Sick's ult from having impact, but that means that showstopper that you want to be using to clear off angles on the site to control it for yourself is now off the board. So not the cancellation you were kind of hoping for, and then everyone just starts kind of teeing off for the Sentinel side, particularly Shazam's 2 kills. And that kill, though, from Floppy cracks the door back open just a smidge. They're still down a man. They're running out of time. They don't really have that much map control. But maybe, just maybe, there's a chance. But Zeta has to win this fight against Dapper on site. That's really the only way forward.
30 seconds left.
And the dance towards backside. Zeta's going to find the kill. Knows another one there as well. It's going to be Sick, who takes down that recon bolt. Floppy didn't get spotted on the flank, but he's going to get tagged from the side. Needed to be a bit more careful as they look to push behind. Unfortunately, going to get pinched. Now the gravel pulls him right in, and Zeta vulnerable on the site. And Sick to find the kill. Cloud9 Blue almost turn it around, but it's Sentinels continuing their reign.
Again, Zob's the unsung hero then. He basically saves Sick from getting flanked, and he uses the gravel to set Sick up to end the round. So, I mean, Zom's utility usage and fragging coming where it needs to be. Again, this is just so tough. Look at the Star Wars going on here as Shazam just keeps hitting that default plant zone and gets 2 picks because of it. Glad we were able to capture that in the replay. And it sets Cloud9 Black so much they have to go for another save, man. They are getting absolutely rinsed so far here on Haven. And again, if you come with the king, you can't miss, bro.
Yep.
Yes, we know Cloud9 Blue's success on Haven has been pivotal in Challengers 2 and throughout this finals bracket to get where they are. But now you're up against the cream of the crop, and they're struggling to put on a similar performance to what they've done in the past against other opposition.
On the eco, a bit slower. of a push towards the seaside again, just trying to split it, and Sick picks ones up through the wall. Mitch to fall, and again, this is a round surely to go the way of Sentinels, and the economy flourishing. Even if you did a bit of damage for Cloud9 Blue, things should be a-okay going into the next. Sick just continues to go back to work. Now the spike has been planted, so all is okay on that front. And now, unfortunately, Sick trapped behind. No, he's not. He's not trapped. He's got him right where he wants him for the ace.
Are you serious? Sentinels have 2 aces in 8 rounds played between 2 of their players. This puts Sick back onto another run it back already. 10's only 1 away from daggers. And it's like, finally, you think you're maybe getting something going, but it's just an uphill climb through and through, man. You keep getting forced to save, and you have to keep battling these ults you never really get around where you feel like you can find footing. And C9 will take a tactical pause here, and can you blame them? It's like the coach for the Monstars from Space Jam just screaming timeout in the middle of the game. I know that reference will be lost upon some of our audience, but, you know, some people will get that one. But I feel like that must be the thought process behind Cloud9 Blue right now.
And, I mean, that one, again, it is an eco round, right? So
Sure.
the 2 aces have come from the pistol round, and then another anti-eco where Cloud9 Blue find themselves on Frenzies, I think a Stinger, and maybe a couple of Sheriffs. But either way, it hurts so much. And, you know, the biggest hype behind a round like that for Sentinels is that the kills weren't kind of just spread out all over the place, like you said. It's Sick again on another run it back, who was absolutely huge in the last one. With that run it back, he was able to outplay the Cosmic Divide from Floppy on that C site, and then again, just play it. Once he gets sent back, he just plays it like it's a blaze wall. Curveball on the outside, and the rest of the team is there to finish it up. So a huge round for Sentinels to win. Now, off the back end of a tactical pause, Dust, Cloud9 Blue, they got to start turning around right here.
They're starting to come online, man. Again, Leaf has like been one of the top 3 performers on Duelist, and one of the top 3 players just in general for the Challengers Finals and throughout Challengers too. He's been such a strong Duelist for this team, and they've been missing him in this game. As Sick is going to go for the run it back, and he gets a pick with it before poise. Oh no, and there's no ability to trade that back. Obviously, with it being an ult, that's such a big opening pick for, you know, Sentinels have not had too many buys, Tanner, and to have that happen to you right after a tactical timeout is so grueling. And this A defense is still in place. They're committing to it, man. They're still trying to find something here, and the A side has been so well reinforced by Sentinels. They have such a good read of things.
And if you're Cloud9 Blue, what else do you do? C, the retake on C has been absolutely huge. Oh, Leaf didn't get spotted. It is going to be a kill still for Shazam. It's traded back, but you're already down a player.
Right.
The Sentinel's still favorable when it comes to the manpower, and this one as Sick continues to jump peek towards the back of the site. But as I was saying before, what do? If you go plant C, you're just going to get retaken on. We've seen it multiple times this game thus far. You have to fight for something else, and even when they do, it just completely gets stunted.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, they need to start doing something with Floppy's Astra utility on that long A corner you have to feel to push off the aggression to allow them some space to breathe. But that's a big entry there. The man we were talking about, Leaf, gets the kill into Zom's, blast backs into sight. There's splits coming from Mitch, but it's been cut off by Sick. Leaf able to get a third, though, keep it even in this close plant situation. This is maybe Leaf's opportunity to really have impact here.
And his ears were ringing, Dust. He heard you talking about him, saying he was one of the top performing duelists here in this one, able to take down the cam of one. Now needs to find the last. There'd be an ace on the round, but Dapper clutches it out. No ace for you. Sentinels will push to 8.
I guess just the world knew that we couldn't handle another ace this fast in this match, man. But you felt like it was right around the corner. Certainly looked to be on the horizon there for Leaf. He was doing some big things throughout that round to try to really instill his will on the server, but Sentinels just always seem to be a step ahead. Even when they kind of got caught by Leaf's positioning, it was still a kill that came out against his teammate to not allow him to really use that to have substantial impact on the round, right? And even his entry into sewers, his flanker got caught in Mitch. So it's like every time he was setting something up, the follow-through could never be there because Sentinels were always wise to, you know, a potential snake in the grass, I guess you could say, and able to handle it and keep things kind of on equal footing throughout the round. And in the 1v1, just a little short is Leaf, but they're able to still full buy here. But again, that doesn't matter much anymore. They need rounds.
They need something. This time, Sick able to take down the Boombot with the hot hands and make it out of garage. It's going to be another Cosmic Divide from Floppy. used to try and get some pressure towards C. And with this, the spike's still hovering towards A, so they're trying to make some changes. And Leaf, the utility goes right through it. The bullets will not follow as Tense picks up one, pops the knives, looks to clear out the site. The spike still headed over towards A, but the battle will ensue for this mid-C area. And Zoms is no fool. Zoms knows exactly what's up here, Dust.
Yeah, he's gotten here just in time. Spike's starting to plant. Will he peek in time to disrupt it? No, he's still playing behind this wall. They're right next to each other, and now he steps out and finds Mitch for free, gets him back into a man advantage on this retake.
Stars to go down. Empress gonna be popped as well. Floppy gets on the board. Oh my goodness, Tense tries to go up, but what goes up must come down. We find ourselves in a 1v1. The mirror matchup, the imposter, the Spectre, and Zeta picks up another for Cloud9 Blue.
That was down to the wire throw, man. 11 HP, spraying a Spectre and praying that it would work in time, and it almost fell short, but he does get it done. But I think the star of that round is probably Poise. The kill he catches on Tens when he goes up with this updraft and the daggers was so big, man. Really kind of saved the day because you felt like Sentinel's retake really had a wallop behind it until he pulled that frag off. Finally, another round for Cloud9 Blue, but it can't be on an island again, Tanner. They need to be able to really build up some mass in this half. They can't just keep being isolated to a round here and there. There's only 2 left to go, and again, Sentinel's attacking time on this map is so good.
Oh, Tens does it again. How he finds the kill through mid, dashes away, and he just continues to be a terror. He continues to prove why people think he is the best in North America. He stays alive to find some more, and Dapper's right there behind him to back him up. Garage is not free. You have to pay for it with your life. The kill is traded, but Floppy is worse for wear.
Oh, that shot might land on him. Ooh, that was so close to ending his life right there. Was able to duck and dodge away. But, of course, again, the story of this half is most of these rounds, Cloud9 Blue are never really a man ahead for too long. And now it's getting worse as Sick finds Floppy. Spike down in window room. Zeta trying to catch Sick. Does. That's well done. I thought he'd get caught by the curveball. Unfortunately, again, every time something starts to go their way, Sentinels just comes right back at them. And now Zoms will finish it off. It's going to be 9-2 lead now for Sentinels. And man, it's just like Cloud9 Blue can never really get an edge in any of these rounds. They can never really get a foothold. At best, they're on even numbers all the way through.
In that one, 8-4 is bad, but it feels like you lose less momentum, right? You have a bit more hope when you go into it 8-4. Now, not only did they not pick up that round on rifles to try and net the 8-4 half, but they're back on a labored buy. Everything that they can afford is one rifle.
Here's some big context for you. In the year 2021, which is basically February 11th forward, Cloud9 Blue has had a near 70% attacking win rate on this map, and they're limited right now to 2 rounds.
Looking to make it 3, Hunter Shuri. Nice paint shells to try and keep Dapper away for now, and it's actually going to find the kill. Dapper not respecting the damage as Shazam looks to trade back a Hunter Shuri of his own. Sick. The push through the Nebula, and Leaf just popping grapes. He wasn't allotted an ace earlier. Won't be allotted an ace this time around, but does heaps of damage for his squad and makes 9-3 quite doable. But Zoms is still alive. Zoms is Mr. Multi-Kill in this game, and he's done so much for the squad as he turns his back to Zeta. He looks to fight towards Mitch. He's able to pick it up, but 81 health is all he's got. He goes Galactic to put the stars down. The gravity well, the push from Zeta. And the round to Cloud9 Blue, 9-3 at the half. And they got to find, if we're going back to Space Jam Dust, they got to get that Bugs Bunny water for this defense.
They do need, what was it, the special something? I can't even remember, dude. It was like a blue bottle with a piece of paper taped to it.
Yeah.
The secret stuff. I think that's what it was, secret stuff. Anyway. Yeah, they need something, bro. They need a miracle. Again, this is a team that has, you know, regularly been able to win around 70% of their attacking rounds, and this one they only got 3. That is just really an uphill climb at that point, because defensively they only win about half their rounds, and you're going up against a team in Sentinels who, again, are around that 60+% range on attacking round success since Tense has been on the team. We already knew it was going to be an uphill climb considering Sentinel's success on Haven, considering the last time they met on Haven head-to-head in the finals of Challengers 2, where Sentinels used that map as part of a 3-0 victory. But now this really feels like a bridge too far the way that the score has already started out.
Looking to play retake our Cloud9 blue. Sentinel's going to get the spike planted on B for free. The paint shell's not going to do too much, but a blast pack chips away at Tenz's HP. Now 85 on the Jet as he looks to trade some back. The Nebula smoke is there. There's the tap, and they're baiting out a handful of this utility. It's still a 5v5. Leap and Poise look to position outside of this B side, and they're all starting to fall, but Dapper will stand to trade a kill back. Now needs to do the rest of the damage. Able to find the dink and through the box, but Mitch will sit him down. 19 HP. Separated these teams from a pistol round, but it goes to Cloud9.
What a chaotic slugfest that round was. And you have to feel like that's going to be expected. Sentinels is such an aggressive team, and Cloud9 Blue will be forced to match that pace, and they did this round. Mitch coming up big in the 1v1 there. We've talked about how some of the key players for Cloud9 Blue have been off to a slow start. Maybe that's the spark they need. Winning the pistol, which basically is just kind of playing survival mode at that point, right? If you would have lost pistol, Sentinels go to 10. I mean, it's likely that you're going to have to save. They're the ones that get to go on to the, Spectre buy up, and you're right around map point there. So that really is what they needed to do, just to tread water, man. But they are still very close to sinking. They need to make sure this round works, and they're going to have to make sure they get the bonus in the next one. We know how hard bonus rounds can be to convert, but if they've ever needed one, it's next round.
Even in this one,
No
I was about
way.
to say, there it is. The Sheriffs do so much work for the squad. Mitch able to trade a kill back, but 10's still alive, and he's still a menace. Sick finally to fall here as the Jet looks to find some work on the C side. Unfortunately, there are no listings. As Mitch goes toe-to-toe with the counterpart, it's Dapper to pick it up. Now one away from the neural theft is the Cypher for Sentinels, and one kill away.
Zom's just running, bro.
Cloud9 Blue.
He's got the sneakers on, and he's full sprint into A, and he will get the spike plant. There is no question about that. That's going to get some additional funds to Sentinels, who did not invest in this round, really. Some Sheriffs, yeah, sure, but this is really going to kind of bolster their full buy when they choose to go for it. Now, Zom's chances of actually clutching this, I mean, with no utility, pretty slim. But, again, to get the spike plant and get a couple of guns down is no small feat in itself.
At the very least, these are the credits that you needed if you're Sentinels. And the kills to come on through. Zoms.
That's big.
Punishes the Spectres here. Is going to make that bonus a whole lot worse. A couple of players are going to have to rebuy into this next round. And as I was saying, that spike plant, if you bought Sheriffs, that's kind of washed away because you get some extra credits because of it. So Sentinels are going to be looking pretty in this rifle.
Oh, absolutely. It makes, the anti-bonus play even more fierce from them. Full rifles across the board, no problem. Certainly won't have any shortage of abilities. And, I mean, this is tough because look what it's done. Floppy and Zeta don't really want to have to buy here. They're going to go on Ghost only, so it's just the three Spectres. Bonuses are already hard to convert. And to have them set back like this makes it even harder. And as I say that, though, Zeta picks up the Guardian last minute, and Floppy picks up a Spectre as well. So they're going to replenish that, but again, it's keeping their credits so low, Tanner. And if this doesn't work, I mean, Sentinels are going to be so close to map point at that time.
Yeah, if this doesn't go their way because they force in the bonus, the next rifle round, should they buy up, and the next is going to look very similar to what we're seeing here from Cloud9 Blue, and it could quite possibly mean 11 rounds for Sentinels. Although we have just made our way to the first rifle round for Sentinels, they're taking it a whole lot slower. The pace slowed down, and maybe trying to get Cloud9 Blue to play their game now.
I mean, they know how much this round means if they can win it. This is very close to them just shutting down the map. And again, they also know the weight behind this series. So it's understandable that maybe they would be a little bit more cautious, but Leaf playing up close here could be a problem with the Spectre. It seems like Shazam is keen on keeping an eye on it, but now they start to pass by. Leaf trigger discipline here, might find a really big timings, lines up the kill onto Dapper, and he's able to escape. The long A attack being slowed down with a grab ball as well, so Sentinels can't really follow up quickly, and now we're going to see Sick have to pop that run it back to try to start clearing the side up. Does spot one, spots another, Tense gets it, and they are recovering the round.
Spike down A.
Wow, the timing there. I thought the run it back was going to get nothing because Sick completely looks away from Leaf, but Tens pushes up from Sewers, finds that kill up towards A short, and now we find ourselves on 3v3, but Mitch finally getting value on the flank, buying so much attention, and Tens has to go huge, but he can't do it. Cloud9 Blue convert the bonus.
Mitch's flank was so fast, man. Sentinels had really no idea. Sure, as time starts to pass, you begin to understand that the flank could be a threat, but they just not anticipating it being that rapid. So Mitch, huge part of the puzzle there, but also got to respect this play from Leaf early on to get them, you know, in the hunt, to make sure that they were at least going to be in the race all the way through the round. Was a good recovery for Sentinels to get it back into a 3 versus 3 and get a spike plant, but again, Mitch with such a great flank. Now he has their neural theft available. They've been able to win the bonus. They now have Sentinels onto a save, and now Cloud9 Blue are starting to make this a contest, man. Like, if you thought that it was just going to be a Sentinel steamroll, which it did look that way for a while, all of a sudden, everything's come back into question.
And what we said could happen to Cloud9 Blue, the inverse is happening, where Sentinels not only lose that bonus round, but they lose quite possibly the next one, giving Cloud9 Blue 2 free rounds, pushing them to 7 rather than Sentinels to 11. And there it is. That's where it all starts. Mitch up top on the box, able to find one onto Zombs. Now, you do still have to be wary, right? I think everybody familiar. Oh, the leap over the trap wire there, unfortunately, doesn't amount to a whole lot. The blade's going to be used out, though. Dashes in right to his death, and they're starting to get mowed down. Flawless in response for Cloud9.
You could see what Tins was thinking. The cogs were turning. He's thinking, if I can dash past this drone, I get the Sova for free. What he didn't anticipate was that Floppy was there as the Guardian Angel. And it was a bit of a Hail Mary anyway to pull out the daggers. And at the time, it was a 45 when he popped it. And then by the time he had to use it, it was already a 3 versus 5. So, you know, chances were slim to none anyway. But I liked the idea, but just great considerations by Cloud9 Blue to make sure that that was going to be covered. Once they heard the daggers pop, they knew that Tins might look for an aggressive play like that, and they were prepared. So, again, Cloud9 Blue chipping away at the lead. The gap is shrinking rapidly at this point. And Cloud9 Blue have a great chance at perhaps making the comeback happen. Poison's aggression, a little bit stuffed there today, thanks to Shazam. Oh, that was great timing there to realize what's going on at Garage. Great grab. Well, Zeta will play off of it for a kill onto Dapper.
Oh, cage trigger.
Ooh, Ten's dashing in, able to find that kill on the site. So 1 for 1 we go, but Sentinel's worse for wear. Zom's only on 8 HP, and as soon as that spike looks to get planted, I would imagine we see some utility use. Leap on the back end, toss out the paint shells, trying to clear out this C-long area, and this is where just about everybody is playing. No, Leap is completely left, but they have to be wary of this. Zeta looks to clear out the site with the ultimate. Recon Bolt can get some information. Down it goes! Down the lane and knocks down 2. Make it 3 for Leaf. Shazam the 4th. He's able to trade back 2, but now needs to stop the spike from getting defused. 2 players standing in front of him. He finds one, but not the next. Poise, the last one standing for Cloud9 to find their 8th round.
Really good defensive round there from Cloud9 Blue. Great use of the grab well there from Floppy to set Zeta up to get the intel on Garage. Also, their flank was just so fast to make sure that Sentinels had to be going, see if they had no fallback option. And then Leaf, who had that flank, falls off of it very quickly, rotates the ult around, and then just lines up a double with it. Don't see that too often. So huge. And now if they can win this round, they probably put Sentinels onto yet another save, and that would be a chance to take the lead, Tanner. From being down, I think at one point they were down 1-8. They might actually be able to grab a lead here. Again, up against Sentinels' attacking side, which is historically so strong.
Oh, and we're seeing why, but that is the beauty. Again, it's so much control fought over towards this A-lobby area, but you have that buddy system, and it works so well. Unfortunately, Flop doesn't have anybody to back him up there. Now Leaf, who has since postured aggressively, needs to get out of dodge, and he's not able to do so. So Zeta and Mitch, the support players here for Cloud9 Blue, need to come up huge in a 2v4, make it a 1v4. And Mitch, unfortunately, doesn't have the superior positioning. No flank, nobody caught off guard. It's got the neural theft available, but this is a very tall task for the Cypher.
Yeah, it's not looking too good here for Mitch. Only thing going for him really is that he has a neural theft available if he can get that first kill. But I mean, with the time dwindling, I just don't see a way forward. And this is a big response from Sentinels, whose credits were basically on the verge of being cracked, and the save was right around the corner, and the chance for Cloud9 Blue to take the lead was right there for the taking if that were to occur. But Sentinels not succumbing to the pressure. Coming in, winning a big 10th round, and they do so clean, which is even more important, Tanner, considering their economy. to get away with 4 weapons like this, that is really icing on the cake. And now they have a run it back available. They had the Cosmic Divide. They had the Hunter's Fury. They have so many tools to put forward. Whereas when you look at C9 Blue, the Cosmic Divide, not normally as important defensively, except for maybe for some retake situations. You know, Mitch is required to get a kill to really get value out of his neural theft. So, I mean, Sentinels have a chance to really just drive this thing home, especially considering that Cloud9 Blue's economy is also quite fragile. Really, the teams kind of share that potential problem. So, this is such a big potential swing round because of that.
And now I'm interested to see, we've seen a couple of Cosmic Divides used over towards C to split that backside garage area. A tag from Shazam is going to lead to not a tag with the Hunter's Fury, unfortunately going wide. 2 ultimates used and nothing to be found but information. As Zeta looks to get a bit of his own, the full rotate coming on through. The spike still hanging out towards A lobby though, so a whole lot. And I believe the Cosmic Divide is coming down, so you have to push through this here. You have to push to the Cloud Person. Zeta does just that. Mitch picks up another stick on the site, trying to do everything that he can as Zeta continues to go to work. But now the odds are even for just a moment. Mitch has a huge round and Poise closes out another.
Big round from Cloud9 Blue. As you said, Sentinels getting really no value out of either of their ults there other than maybe intel at best. That's a big investment to not wind up with at least some type of pick, some type of entry point. And then they just kept following up, but Cloud9 already had 4 players at A site by the time the commitment was there from Sentinels. They really just ran into a brick wall. It's going to take brute force alone to get out of the situation or to take a step back and maybe try to pivot elsewhere and hope that, you know, you can expose Cloud9's over rotation. But that never happened. They never let up, and it came back to haunt them. Both teams still coming into the full buy, but again, the credits are really running low due to some of these exchanges and how some of these rounds have played out. Ten's looking to be the tip of the spear in this round, trying to come in and catch an entry, but Poise at such a great angle will get first blood anyway, and with the dismiss gets away. No potential trade there for Sentinels, and that's a big opening for him.
Sick tagged twice on the round. Fortunately for him, there is no Hunter's Fury available. Nobody else to follow up on that. So just some information that they're still looking to play, maybe through this garage or up towards B. The mid area completely on lock. My Sentinels for a moment. Dapper able to upgrade to a Vandal thanks to his fallen teammate. It's a price to pay, but we'll see what he can get done with it. Full armor, full HP, but down a player, Sentinels.
Yeah, they're gonna try to make a play here into garage. Mitch using a nice little one-way cage here to try to spot some feetsies coming through. They actually decide to back off knowing how dangerous playing into that one-way could be. But now they come in right after it's extinguished. Poise gets nailed by that dart. Sick jumping up with it. Almost finishes the job, but not quite. They still make their way to the side, but Mitch lining up a great headshot over the logs onto Sick, keeping them a man ahead. Dapper was able to trade it back to get the spike plant potentially, but they're still going to be a man down in the post plant. They don't have the best positioning. They don't have any ults in play either. Meanwhile, Cosmic Divide stops them from just playing from long.
Enemy remaining.
Oh my goodness. And Leaf going to work from downtown. Floppy to close it out, but that's it right there, Dust. 10-10. We're knotted up in Cloud9. I mean, even surprising us here in their defensive side. Now stunting this Sentinel squad, tying us up. And this is where boys come in right here, right now. Haven has been a problem for a handful of teams in this tournament. Somebody has to close this out.
Again, man, you look at Sentinels, just, you know, a near 80% win rate since Tens has been on board. In fact, it's 81%, 64% win rate on the attack, and they are being limited in such a pivotal moment. Again, I feel like a big part of it is the quick flanks. Think about how often that's factored in. Leafs had 2 quick flanks on long C that have been so disruptive, not allowing Sentinels to settle in the post plant. And then Mitch had that big flank up sewers a few rounds ago where he doubled up to basically put them in charge. And now they tied the game up 10-10. They had Sentinels on a low buy. And I mean, things are looking swimmingly all of a sudden for Cloud9. They were 1-8 down again, Tanner. Can't stress that enough. They made such a crazy comeback, and they're going all the way, it seems. Floppy with a big double.
Oh, and Leaf picks up another one. Dapper again falls to the paint shells, not respecting the damage. Didn't have the space to get away, and the showstopper running out, but it's shot off anyways. Shazam chipped away, 39 HP. Cloud9 are looking to find their first lead in the game, and there it is.
Oh my goodness. Cloud9 Blue are doing it all of a sudden. They're doing the unthinkable. Leaf. We talked about how slow of a start he had. He is now 23 and 19. He is the top fragger on the server by a decent margin. You have Poi starting to make some big plays. His overall frag count might not be high, but he's made a couple of big kills that have really helped this team along. And you're just starting to see, generally speaking, Cloud9 Blue rise to the occasion at just the right time. But here's the full buy back from Sentinels. Neural Theft available if they can get a pick. Great Cosmic Divide comes out, though, from Floppy to make it a bit harder for them to fight for that early map control out middle in Garage without having to waste this drone to make sure that no one's getting on those forward angles. Shazam will clear it out now and start to get a little bit of intel towards the front of B, but not a whole lot, man. So they're really stuck at this point. Really having to play a lot slower than maybe they were hoping to.
And it looks like Cloud9 have got Sentinels shaken in their boots. It's another slow approach here. And things have been so wonky, right? It's been a Cypher on top of the box C. It's been an Astra on top of the boxes A. Cloud9 have really shown us a very dynamic defense and the versatility in it as well. And a lot of it catching Zombs off guard. You know, if you hear the Raze on A, if Raze isn't on the box, there's not a whole lot of other people who can get on the box, but then they still manage to find a way.
Well, Sick got to run it back with that orb, so that's going to give them a big weapon to try to make sure that they get control of this A site. Last time, it faltered. They were not able to get a pick. Not getting value at all. And look at this. Cloud9 Blue's already rotated 3 players onto the site, but here comes all the Astra utility pouring out. Dapper able to get onto Leaf. Run it back is still in play here, and the rest of the team will just kind of follow in behind it like a battering ram. Everything going their way. Not a single player has fallen for Sentinels, and they tie this thing right back up 11-11. And, I mean, we couldn't have asked for a more exciting way to kick off the day, man. It's come to this. The final rounds of regulation to decide whether or not overtime will come into play.
I don't know what else to say about that round other than just shoot through smoke. Just sometimes send it and shoot through smoke, because that a lot of the time can be the outcome, and it's so demoralizing in a round like that. Fortunately for Cloud9 Blue, they're in a position where they can lose a round. They have the credits for it.
There's hardly any other 1-2 punches more scary than Tens and Sick when they're on form.
Yeah.
And that combined with everyone else just committing, full sending it with the ult, good Astra utility to help cover some angles, good awareness, good spacing and timing. That's what Sentinel's strength is. They have such a high skill ceiling. They have so many players who are willing to just go out there and trade and be fearless. And that type of brawly style can yield big, big results if your opponent's not on form and not prepared. And so here we go. Sentinels looking, they're not going to let this be sight.
Intense has a rifle, but also popped the Bladestorm here. Might have spotted Floppy, able to toss out the Cloud Burst there. Hunter's Fury going to come through, find Sick. Now the 1-2 punch is down, as is the second. Tens will fall, and Zombs is only able to trade back one, but the spike has since been planted. Neural Theft going to give out some information. Gravity Well going to keep Shazam at bay. Now they need to try and get the spike defused. 3 members still trying to fight for it. Nova pulls to try and find the stud. Dapper picks up one, shoots the legs of another, but Mitch only chipped away, and it's all up to Shazam. Needs to go clutch here, finds the first. Make it another, and he does just that. It's a 3K and map point for Sentinel.
And Shazam, I mean, we haven't talked about this man enough, but do this man justice. He's the IGL. He's the one having to pivot his role massively to accommodate Tens and make sure they get the most out of this roster. He has had so much weight on his shoulders, so much pressure to keep Sentinels going forward, and now he comes up with a huge clutch. You thought Mitch had that. He was making such a good press into middle. He was getting the frags that he needed. It looked like perhaps they were going to break through, but Sentinels right at the home stretch, right before the finishing tape, they're able to come back and get to map point first. Now, the way Cloud9 Blue's been playing, I would not be shocked to see overtime, but Sentinels seem on one right now. They have recovered a couple of rounds here to take this lead right back.
Hunter's Fury, Cosmic Divide available for Sentinels. It's only going to be that Neural Theft for Mitch. There's that Cosmic Divide to split that C site, and it's looking to be...
Oh, it comes out to the fast flank again, man. It does, especially because Hunter's Fury is in play for Shazam at the back of long C. So they need to make sure that this flank does not ruin them. They need to keep Shazam alive.
I think the drone spotted all three, and Leaf tries to continue with that flank. It's sniffed out, taken down. Now all five playing out.
Oh, this Hunter Fury is going to
towards
ruin
this long C area. And yeah, Hunter's Fury still available. No shock darts available, but that spike not planted in a very good spot. Fortunately, I believe Cloud9 do have some smoke options. Here come the Hunter's Fury going on down. Shazam trying to kick him off the spike. A huge flank from Tenzo coming on through Garage, dashes onto the side. He's finding 3 kills, only needs to find one more. It's the 4th, and it's Tenz again.
Other very recently, and it with the distance and then some, right? Both teams able to really match that defensive win rate. Both teams got 8 rounds defensively in that matchup. Just couldn't really get the attack going as much, but Sentinels eking it out in overtime. So I could definitely see similar vibes here to what we saw in Haven, where we could wind up with a very close match, but it's one of those things where it's hard to bet against Sentinels right now. Just the way that they're playing, the way that they were able to get such a massive lead, give it up, but then recover. It's just going to be so hard to see. And this is one of those maps where Shazam will get to play the Jet because, you know, it's one of those maps where you're not going to see the Sova. Zom's obviously staying on the Astra. Dapper obviously staying on the Cypher. Sit getting back to where he started. Sage, an agent that he absolutely mastered in the beginnings of Valorant and gets to bring it back out. And then Tenz is one of those duelists that can basically just pick whatever he's feeling on the day. He's decided that Rain is the thing he wants to go for here. And really no change up from Cloud9 either, other than what we normally expect, right? Still keeping that double duelist composition, the flash and dash with the Breach and the Jet and the Raze, which is still very powerful in this meta. Astra just adds to that. Mitch, you know, classic Killjoy. Definitely kind of a Swiss Army knife as far as the roles he's played for Cloud9 throughout his time on the organization. But definitely he feels really at home on Killjoy. So again, no real shockers in the agent select there. One other thing to note here, Tanner, if you want a bit of history, Cloud9 Blue has never beaten Sentinels, ever. From the day one of Valorant to today. Obviously, the Cloud9 roster are a lot different than it used to be. But yeah, this organization's never gotten one over on Sentinels yet. They've only even won really like a couple of maps out of 13 played against each other. So they have to really battle against history here, Tanner.
Ooh, yeah, this would be one for the books outside of qualifying for Iceland, but for Cloud9 to be able to take down the Sentinel squad for the first time ever. So we kick things off nice and early. Shazam going to be on the receiving end of a bit of damage. And unfortunately for Cloud9 Blue, they don't have the Sage. They don't have the heal for Leaf, sitting on 7 HP. There's the wall up. The Nano Swarm to try and delay, and Mitch with the awkward angle. Able to find Tenz, takes one down, and so much damage with utility and more to follow up. It's just a couple more to close things out. The fault line going to be a bit of friendly fire, but it's all up to Dapper, who has to do so much. Unfortunately, not able to do that. It's a 3K for Poise, and after a very close Haven, Cloud9 are able to pick up the pistol.
Yeah, I feel like Mitch timed out that Nano Swarm so well. He kind of let them have control of B Heaven and put that wall down on the stairwell, and then they put that combo out there, the Nano Swarm and the paint shells, and really kind of trapped Sentinels inside of it with their commitment. And then Poise, again, only been playing professional Valorant since February. No real prior experience. I think he played on a couple of mixed teams here and there, but never at, you know, this type of level on this regular of a basis. But again, kind of known as like that pub star that had so much potential just based on how he performed on the ladder. And that's a big hat trick for him to kick things off, being a map down.
And when we're looking at games of inches, whether it be Haven in that last one, Split in the last time these guys played each other, that pistol round and the one to follow this anti-eco could be enough to eke out a victory. So a great way for Cloud9 Blue to start. And I think the analyst decks actually had noted it in the last. It was 12-14 and a very standard kind of old meta composition. Floppy has since been playing the Astra, so that's the one change. It was Omen last time they played. Now Sentinels have something else to worry about here. It's a very slow push. The information now given that they have taken Heaven as the slow orb goes through to try and stop a rotation, but they could still go through these ropes. That Spike hanging out for just a second, and Sick taking way too much damage. Needs to back away, heal up.
All right.
And Sentinels are going to rethink their options.
Yeah, the thing is, they can just keep this 3-man A defense really in play because they have that push in B lobby, so they feel pretty confident that they will have, you know, what they need control-wise there. Yeah, they don't know what's going on necessarily at middle or B Heaven, so they have to be a little bit, you know, scared about the pivot. But all in all, C9 Blue are pretty well set up in this round. But, you know, Sentinels have still not suffered a casualty. They've already gotten a lot of map control. That turret will kind of alarm things here. Mitch peeking with it, able to get some damage in, but still no frags have rung out. Finally, Mitch collects onto Tenz. But Sentinels have a lot of space to perhaps break out with, but they're running out of time.
Yeah, and it's just the dance around the billboard there, that sign. Although wall bangable, the classics can't get too much done. A 3K for Mitch. And they make it hurt for one. Poise did fall, but he just had the frenzy. So I'm wondering what he's going to be bringing into this next round. But this is where things get started. This is where we get to see Sentinels come online as they're going to have full rifles.
Yeah, indeed, full rifles across the board. No operator for Shazam, but that's not really going to be too much of a problem for him. As it is going to be that bonus round. Poise with the judge. So probably looking to get aggressive with that. You'd have to imagine he's been playing towards the A ramps with that weapon. Looking to try to get in someone's face. As a judge, we know how potent that weapon can be in the right hands. Looks like some B aggression also coming out here from Cloud9 Blue. See them trying to get that alarm bot out there, maybe play off it, but a good slow orb from Sick kind of thwarts them from getting in there. And in the meantime, Sentinels will take heavy mid control off the back of Zoms' smoke inside that vent position. They get into B heaven quickly. Turret already down. They're burning some of the utility of their opposition here once they've gotten into mail, but still no commitment just yet. But again, a lot of early map control from Sentinels. They even have ropes now as well.
And just about all the utility thrown out. No more slow orbs from Sick.
Right.
Lear goes through. It's another bit of utility use. Now going to be taken off the board. No more left as Leaf playing a close angle. Has the paint shell. Zom's able to pick up one. A right click from the classic, and the damage starting to come on through Leaf. Looking to go to work as Dapper finds him. The backstab from this A ramps area. Nice flashpoint coming out from Zeta, dropping the spike on the floor. Now they got to make a play for it, and Shazam is still wary of the flank. 65 HP is where the Jet finds himself as he's stuck inside the ropes. Now the spike down in heaven, and Sentinels got to figure something out. As you pointed out, Dapper on the flank, the big loop all the way around, but 85 health and 9 armor is all Sentinels have to work with here in a 1v2.
Dude, Dapper's been so good. His flank's gotten 2 kills, and he spotted Mitch so fast with that camera, meaning that Mitch's flank has been riddled useless as far as getting the jump on them. However, the health is definitely favoring Mitch in this battle.
That turret might get a kill here. No, it's going to be Mitch instead, swinging off of it, and it's a 2K to close it out. The bonus to Cloud9. They continue their winning ways.
Yeah, it's the battle of the Sentinel roles there. Mitch basically versus Dapper as far as who could have the most impact. Again, Dapper able to get that flank up A ramps when so much, attention was being put on that ropes position by Leaf. He was able to kind of come in behind here, get a really big kill to help open up this A site for Sentinel so we can have very fast map control, but Leaf is doing such a good job stalling them out until Dapper swings on through. But again, Mitch's flank got foiled, at least information-wise. But again, the health was just not there. Mitch able to sort out those duels and keeps Cloud9 Blue ahead here, 3-0, winning the bonus. And Sentinels looking to go at it again, man. They're not looking to, take a save. They want to go right back at Cloud9 Blue. They know they forced a lot of rebuying out of them, and they want to see if they can't punish that and try to close the gap on the scoreboard quickly. If this fails, though, Cloud9 Blue are definitely going to jump up to 5-0.
And round 4 is typically that round where you do see those sheriffs come out if you just lost the bonus. But like you pointed out, Sentinels bringing a bit more into this one. And I think just trying to get some done with the daggers. But unfortunately, Shazam to fall, Leaf picking that one up. And once more, just proving, while we can't stop saying his name, 10's on the board now, Sheriff in hand. Usually good for a few with that weapon. And a Vandal on the ground means there could be options for upgrade. A couple of flashpoints tossed out. Now Zeta forced to back away. No utility, but a fault line left to his name. And Sentinels looking to make this one hurt. And could get something done here as they rotate.
Yeah, they're going to be able to rotate. There's utility in place to really kind of slow down this attack into B, giving up time for Mitch to rotate back into the site here. Floppy not able to necessarily swing on B heaven, but he's able to guard the stairwell. Lockdown puts into play as well, making it very difficult to commit to the plant here. They actually have to kind of back off the B lobby, and Floppy uses that to his advantage to go ahead and collect onto 10s. No players detained, but again, it just gets so much time for Mitch to get into position to take care of business. And so just all in all, Cloud9 Blue played that round to perfection. That'll jump them up to 4. And actually, I didn't realize this, but Sentinels kind of was better than I thought. Even with that full Spectre bot, because they've hit max loss bonus, they're actually still able to get the operator in Shazam's hands and get Phantoms and Vandal across the board. So actually a good calculation to go for those Spectres. My mistake, as they'll still come full force here. But again, the Cloud9 Blue momentum is definitely building.
Yeah, now, I mean, I guess in your defense for
Don't
the
save
economy.
Me. It's over.
No, you take a look, and it does hurt a little bit, right? That plant definitely helps, and it allows them to buy those Spectres, but you see Sick without a barrier orb here in this round, so, I mean, that one bit of utility can mean so much for that Sage. We've seen what the Sage players, at the very least in North America, if you've only been watching this,
Ooh.
As Shazam says, watch this. Floppy taken off the board. Poison Leaf, though, right back to work. It's going to be traded a 2-for-2 overall, but some more kills to follow. The kill feed flooded. And now we're in a 2v2 early in this round. 1 minute and 15 left. But a 1v2, it's only sick, but only feels like an entire squad as he looks to turn
He knows.
tail and head over towards this B side. He has the spike in hand, and he might catch Zeta off guard. Zeta thinking... I don't know if he could spot that cross there.
They're playing like multi-dimensional chess right now with each other. Yeah. Lots of mind games happening here, but at least Sick kind of knew what was going on. He's going to go for the plant. He's going to go into back halls. Can Zeta retake? He's already dumped all his utility, so it comes down to just a straight-up gunfight. There's a heal available for Sick if he takes early damage and he's able to get away, heal up, and come back. So he kind of gets a couple of different stabs at this.
When he's thinking he's to the left, he peeks to the right, and Zeta finds the kill. What a huge round. And again, Sentinels remain scoreless here. 5-0 for Cloud9 Blue.
Again, we talked about how both these teams are very defensive heavy on split. Both these teams are around that 70% win rate marker on the defense. And even in their previous engagement not so long ago in the Challengers 2 Grand Finals, both teams getting that 8-round number on the defense. And again, overtime was required to determine things in the end. So it's one of those things, though, where even if you know the defense is where you're going to kind of make your money, so to speak, you have to at least put yourself in position to do so. And so Sentinels are running out of space to get those, attacking rounds they require to stay competitive. And they're going to have to come into this one with just some shares and a couple of Spectres. And again, Cloud9 Blue are just playing this hat to perfection. They've been so good at just brawling when they've needed to in middle, using their utility to stall things out at B. The rotations have been on point. The big retake from Mitch a few rounds ago. Like, just everything's going according to plan. But as I say that, Dapper gets a pick with the Sheriff. He gets the neural death off as well, giving vital information to his teammates. Zeta, though, able to get the pick, at least equal the numbers. And again, firepower certainly favors Cloud9 Blue. That's a showstopper off the board, though. So that kind of limits the defense just a tad bit, but Zeta seems up to the task no matter.
And the Sheriffs that were online for the Duelists, not going to find much there. Zeta picks up 3 on the round. Zoms is able to trade it back and upgrade from the Spectre to the Phantom. Oh, and boys, feeling the need to pop the daggers here. And this one has the Operator, but now the Knives online, the only player playing over towards this A site for now. A rotation coming on through. Floppy looking to back him up. There's the op shot. Lands true on target in the last 2. Now corralled up towards heaven. Don't really have anywhere to go as Dapper looks to jump. Peek Sick gets spotted out, taken down. Now Dapper needs to be the hero. 0 armor. He was resurrected in the round. Where's the return on investment? It's not going to be enough. It's 6 in a row for Cloud9 Blue, but as you stated before, Dust, it was 8-4 for both of these teams on defense. And the last time these teams met here, Cloud9 won 7 in a row before Sentinels started to pick up a few rounds, and then they ended up winning. So for Sentinels fans, nothing to hang your head about just yet. For Cloud9 fans, you're not out of the woodworks just yet, although you're up 6-0.
Oh, you're feeling it right now. I mean, yeah, Floppy's been a bit quiet, but again, he's still adjusting to the game. Everyone else is doing exactly what they need to do. The stars are there. Leaf and Poise are at that 7 mark. Mitch is continuing to frag out as well. So, like you said, everything's kind of going according to plan from Cloud9 Blue's perspective. They've been able to win on all fronts in all aspects of the game. Whether it's, again, the early skirmishes at middle or on the extremities, or whether it's the retake. I mean, everything's been there for them. Their efficiency is just so high right now. Shazam looking for a pick over there into mail room through the smoke. Not going to land, but no harm, no foul. Leaf, though, in this corner. Could get graveled out of position. Could be a problem. Shazam dodges a stun, but cannot get the kill on that cross. And now there's showstoppers out from Leaf, and it lands on the Shazam. Opper gone. Tin's quick to trade, but Poise has an op in a very unorthodox angle at B main, and you have to feel like he's probably going to get at least 1.
An off angle for sure. They take down Sick. That's a lot of utility off the board. The heal as well. Going to be peeking over the top of Nebula Smoke. Dapper
big trade.
Able to trade it back, but Poise still quick to find 1 as Tens looks to hop onto the side. 63 health. He does have a Devour available, so should he find a kill, things could go his way, and there it is. The kill picked up, but still low HP, and Mitch picks up a double kill. It's multi-kill Mitch doing it again, but he doesn't have the health for this fight. Only 35 as Zeta looks to back him up, and Zoms to find the kill. The fault line as he's stunned up. Zeta will take him down. 7-0 we go.
I mean, Zeta, such good utility there. Big stun. I thought there was still some hope when Dapper was able to get the instant trade on the poise. That was actually very impressive. But again, it's Mitch, man. Mitch has been so big in some of these late round situations for Cloud9 Blue throughout this game. Like, just when you thought that, okay, Sentinels, they're starting to get some space. 10 gets a big pick there on the floppy. You're liking what you're seeing. And then Mitch says, nah, I won't be allowing that. And then Zeta will get the close. And so 7-0 shutout so far from Cloud9 Blue. No credits really available for Sentinels. They're going to have to go for the pistols and the Spectre. And we're even going to see a pause as they try to talk things out, because things are just not going well. No one's really lit the world on fire here for Sentinels on this attacking side. They've been really halted on all fronts. I mean, I'm trying to... What, they have 18 total kills on the entire team? So it's just not going well.
A fair assessment. It is not going well. It looks like Cloud9 Blue, at least not at the halftime, but in between games, did find that Michael Secret stuff, that Bugs Bunny water we were talking about, because they've come into this one absolutely swinging. It is going to be another eco round for Sentinels, so it could quite possibly be an 8th round for Cloud9 Blue. Sentinels is definitely a team we can never count out when it comes to talking about these eco rounds, because they just find ways to get it done. But Zeta has also been getting it done, and it looks like he's about to get it done once more. Tends to peek, the spray to come down, a huge gravity well. Not going to find too much more, though. Just a bit of damage. There's the aftershock to try and push everybody away, and if you're looking for the element of surprise, that swings the way of Zeta.
9 Blue continuing the winning ways. Kind of expected in a round like this where Sentinels just do not have much firepower to put forward to kind of threaten. Now Leaf could get blindsided here by this V-Lobby. Okay, there it is. That's a Vandal for Dapper. I thought he had turned around just in time to catch it, but Dapper still wins the duel. And again, that puts the Vandal in very capable hands. Zonsla has a Spectre, and this round gets interesting all of a sudden. But Floppy battling back well with Zeta.
Oh, another neural theft for Dapper here for the information. Unfortunately, he's the last one standing and doesn't have the timing in a 1v3. He's eventually to fall as Poise, I believe, netted himself an operator here in this round. 8-0. If you want to make things look similar to the last Sentinels, you got to pick up 4 in a row. And it starts right here with a very hurt economy if they do not win this. Rifles and an operator across the board.
Yeah, things are looking quite grim for Sentinels. They do have that first map safety net, so I mean that's certainly kind of playing in their favor. And again, they still get to play their own defensive side, which is very powerful, almost equally so to Cloud9 Blue, and they've done it for longer as far as matches played. So still some work for Cloud9 Blue left to do, but they have already put so many steps in the right direction. That's a big kill, though, from Tins on the Poise. Poise has been money so far this half. That's a big miss. That gives a big opportunity. Sick will build off of it with that wall boost. And what has happened? This is such a different tone of a round.
And it just feels like a different Sentinels team coming into this one off the back end of a tactical pause. As we say it, though, we jinx them a little bit. They are worse for wear. 8 health on Mitch, 39 on Leaf. It is a 2v2, but this Phantom, a stray round surely to sit down both of these players as they look to make a play through the back halls, coming through the fender-sided spawn. Umbot taken down, Paint Shell to try and clear things out. Lockdown to go through, but Shazam closes it out. Sentinels finally on the board. That's a huge round to win.
That was such a nice aggression there. They were able to beat the timing as well on the Paint Shells. They also riddled that lockdown useless, so a big ult off the board now for likely the rest of the half for Cloud9 Blue. All started with that opening pick from 10, Sick quick to follow up, and they just kept the good times rolling, so they finally get around on the board. They've been silenced for so long, but now they've shown up. And again, this is kind of like deja vu from their previous meeting. You know, the 8-0 start, but then the run back from Sentinels. Will that happen again, or do Cloud9 Blue have a different script they want to write in this story?
Ooh, nice trip. Gonna stop Leaf from pushing up too close. Snapper now knows he's not safe where he stands, so he's gonna take his leave. Rapwire gonna bring up the rear just in case anybody tries to push on after him. They look to link up towards mid. It's looking like a B split. An operator in the hands of Shazam. Should anything be found here? Sick puts the wall up. Not gonna be on top of it this time around. The gravity well. Not gonna get any value there. Another star to go through. A nano swarm just to stop the push. And Cloud9 doing a pretty good job of buying time.
Oh, absolutely. They're doing exactly what they need to do to build time for rotations and gain information. Yes, Sentinels do have a bit of map control, though. They have Vince, they have Mailden. They're starting to put that pressure on B Heaven. Leaf, though, is here. He has been absolute money. That stun and paint shell combination is so damning. Leaf gets 2, but again, you got to give credit to Zeta for helping set that up. They could not escape. Such a good timing.
And Zeta's been an absolute madman with the utility this game. I think maybe 1 or 2 fault lines haven't found their mark, and one of them did tag a teammate, but they still found the kill either way. He's just been absolutely huge. Now Dapper trying to match that same energy, pushing towards that spawn in the B stairs. B Heaven stairs, excuse me. Not gonna grab it, neither is Shazam. Leaf with a nice little 3K there. The paint shells and the rifles coming online. And that's all you could ask for from your breach.
This is so beautiful. That stun, no escape. Good night. That won the round, hands down. It was very much up in the air up until that point. And again, this just goes to show how Cloud9 Blue are just winning in every element of the game. Whether it's little gadget plays like that in the mid-round, whether it's early round picks, whether it's retakes. They've only fallen short 1 time. That was a retake in a 2-on-2 where Sentinels just catch a great timing in the back halls. Other than that, it's been basically perfection.
Oh, the slow game not working. Cloud9 bought a lot of time in the last round. Sentinels looking to take the fight right to him here. And another labored by only a couple of rifles, but the blade's online for Shazam as he dashes onto the site. Poised. A little bit of friendly fire, but he's finding kills towards the back. Picks up a 3rd, and Mitch is there to back him up. Now Sick, not long for this world. It's a 3K, it's a 2K, and it's double digits in the first half for Cloud9.
Cloud9 look unstoppable on this split defense, man. Again, you're getting the great performances out of the stars you would expect. But again, it's Poise's recovery. We talked about how he had a quiet first map, but he has come right back into full force here on this defense. Up to 12 kills right next to Leaf. And then Mitch at 17. Proven that he is very capable in the fragging department. Again, he is the one guy still left from Cloud9 Blue in 2020. And he is definitely still finding a way to help the team out in this Challengers run.
Last round of the half means more mid-aggression. Right click and go wide from Poise. Only going to find a bit of damage. Leaf picks up 1, but 2 HP separates him from being 6 feet under. Shazam forced to use that tailwind to get away. The classic around the corner and the right click. Going to find the kill. So a nice little upgrade from Stinger to Vandal, but just damage taken for no real reason.
How does he not avoid that? Sentinel's able to try to get a res, but Zeta comes at just the right time, and he quads in just the blink of an eye, and then the ace! How has he done that? What?
Switching sides.
Are we... Did that just happen? I need confirmation, because I don't believe it.
That just happened, and the only thing that would have made that better is if he would have ripped off the Rolling Thunder at the end, but Zeta has just been so huge. We just talked about how big of an impact he's had as the util guy, and then he makes us eat our words and says, hey, I can also frag as well, and finds a huge ace on the last round of the half. And before, you're asking a whole lot out of Sentinels to try and match, right? Before it was 8-4, 8-4 on defense, but 11-1, it gets a whole lot harder, and the pistol really sets the tempo for the rest here.
I mean, you feel like a Cloud9 went pistol, it's over. Like, how could you possibly come back if Cloud9 Blue go up 12-1 after what we just saw?
That, it has to be demoralizing.
Oh, yeah.
To not only be 11-1, but then to go down like that at the end. You use the resurrection and 5 quick kills. Now, fortunately, one early one put Sentinels ahead for just a moment. It's going to be traded back. Poise runs down Shazam and picks that kill up. The A site looking the place to be. Zom's the only one holding it down for now. Gravity Well gonna try and buy some time as the flashpoint goes through. It's the Frenzy to come out on top, but Dapper's there to trade it. Now playing out towards elbow. It's Zeta again. A right click sits down the Cypher. The spike soon to be planted, and it's all up to 10. So needs to find a couple of grapes to pop here with the ghost in hand, but he's just gonna get run down. Finds the first, can't find the next. Cloud9 Blue 12-1. They pushed a map point.
Match point.
Well, You know, they don't say, they do say, excuse me, that it's not over until it's over, but it does feel pretty over.
Yeah.
Like, it's about as close to over as over gets until it's actually over.
And you see the Tetris slash, I guess, like the Tetris of the money, the economy for Sentinels, trying to figure out how to get everybody in a decent spot. And,
right.
this is very daunting, although the Sheriffs can get a whole lot of work done. Gonna take Dapper here right off the rip. Unfortunately, gonna go wide on that shot. Just gonna get run down by Leaf, who's taking his position on the site. Needs to work through the cyber cage here. Able to pick it up with the paint shells again. And Poise right behind him. The duelists go right back to work to try and close this one out. And they're looking to do it in flawless fashion. Shazam, full HP, playing up towards heaven. The spike now planted. Zombs slowly bringing up that rear. Both playing towards this B heaven area. Mitch, the first to contact on Shazam, takes quite a bit of damage, but Poise just runs him down right into the face. It's not flawless, but it doesn't matter. It's 13-1.
KO people and take the spot instead. Now, it is worth noting that whoever loses this is still in it, right? They still have the lower bracket final. They'll still have one more chance to make it. But it would be such a bold statement for Cloud9 Blue to do it first. And the fact that they're even in the mix at all, when you think of other teams out there like 100 Thieves, like Envy, some of these other teams that have consistently kind of been in that top 5 region, it's wild to think that they might just do it here and now as we start seeing the agents being picked for Icebox. And right now, no real shockers out of Sentinels. I mean, you're kind of seeing what you'd expect for this map.
I think most important when it comes to agent selection, right? Things are going to be pretty defaulted as we've seen in I guess, more recent times. But we didn't get to see Icebox last time. I believe it was map number 4 in the best of 5 series that only went 3 games when Sentinels took that win over Cloud9. As we've got, okay, so it sounds like Sick is locked in. We've got a little glitch there. It is going to be Sick on the Sova coming into this game. But this is the first time in a long time that Cloud9 have played Sentinels here on Icebox. So I'm wondering how they fare into this composition, right? It's fairly, I guess, default when it comes to what you see on Icebox. But as you can tell, it's when we're getting the Havens, when we're getting the splits, changes are being made. They had data to go off of. Now they don't have a whole lot coming to this one. I feel like Cloud9 are fairly blind against the Sentinel squad here on Icebox.
Yeah, and again, I'm not really seeing any agent selections that are like really throwing me for a loop here. I mean, Astra hasn't really been a part of either of these teams' compositions when it comes into Icebox. We've seen them now use Zombs on Viper the last couple of times they've played the map. So, I mean, that's kind of just the new thing that we've already kind of seen. Maybe been shocking the first time around, but now it's kind of, something that you come to expect. And, I mean, honestly, when you think about these two teams' track record on Icebox, the Sentinels team has only lost this map a singular time since Tens has been on board out of the 8 times they've played it, and that was against 100 Thieves just yesterday where they got absolutely dominated.
Yeah.
They could not get anything going whatsoever. So that's it, though. Everything else has been pretty solid for them. And on the Cloud9 Blue side of things, also been very strong since the beginning of the year on this Icebox map, but I would say Sentinels have been a bit better on average.
And if you're Cloud9 Blue, you're probably thinking things look well because of that matchup against 100 Thieves. It being incredibly one-sided. Some early aggression out towards B. It is going to be a rotate back towards mid. Cloud9 playing this one very slow. We saw how important the pistol was on split. It's just as important here on Icebox.
Oh, absolutely. It's worth noting that there's been some points in time where Cloud9 Blue have been dominating teams. They dominated T1. They dominated NRG. They dominated Renegades. So they've been able to win big on this map several times, so they're definitely going to feel at home here as we see them trying to attack into this A site. The recon vault will lead the way, and so will that pick from Zeta.
Yep, Zeta leading the way here. The tip of the spear for the squad. Six able to trade one back, not before Leaf finds another. Cloud9 up a player, the wall, tough to break through. You're going to have to look to play through heaven or at least come from screens. Floppy gets caught out on the flank. Not really where that Omen wanted to be, and Zombs trying to go back to the killing ways as we saw on Haven. Mitch takes a 1v2 fight. Eventually will fall to Sick, but Zeta's there to back it up, and Zeta again. So much weight on his shoulders coming from that last game to this one, and he lives up to it. It's a 3K for the Sova, and it's a pistol to Cloud9.
Okay. Here we go. We're underway. We're already into the thick of it, baby. Oh, man, I'm just so giddy that I get to cover this game and that it's this good. Like, I feel like I know this is kind of selfish to say in the middle of a broadcast that thousands of people are watching, but I just have to say, man, like, I just can't believe it. This is awesome. And I'm sure you feel the same way. And I think that everyone at home watching is also happy to see this exciting of a match. Like, sometimes there's a lot of build-up because of how important the game's going to be. They don't want to just be in some stupid landslide 2-0, and you're just like, man, like, that was just so anticlimactic. This is delivered for sure. And I hope it continues to do so, as we are going to see Cloud9 Blue here look to get these Spectres rolling against the fully safe Sentinels. For the most part, there's a couple of sheriffs out there in a Ghost.
And those pistols can still be so dangerous. So this round, I feel like 60-40, it feels like, because the arsenal for Cloud9 Blue. But Sentinels, they've got that X factor of just finding ways to make things work when they don't have a whole lot headed their direction. As Leaf looks to push through. That toxic screen takes a bit of damage, will be healed up. Sheriff shot gonna go wide, and Leaf forced to back away and link up with the squad. It's all 5 members stacked up. Cloud9 Blue over towards that B-long area. There's the wall going down. They're trying to shoot it down. The dink to come through, but Shazam invested in the armor. Leaf going right back to work. 17 rounds forced. Oh my goodness, forced to reload, but the kill starts to come through. It's the pistols. It's the upgrades. This round leaning towards Sentinels, and they only have to find one more kill, but it's Zeta. Picks up one, needs to find another. 2 kills down, low HP. The Ghost comes through. 10's gonna get spotted, but not taken down. What a round. And I think that is the definition of what we're going to see this game, Dust.
All right, so I'm going to be real with you real quick, Tanner. I'm about to have a heart-to-heart. I know my job, you know, is to be that color commentator, bringing that analysis, really give you that insight, break things down. I have no idea what just happened. It looked like everything was going according to plan. That wall breakdown timing was unbelievable. Yeah. I feel like that was like maybe the kind of catalyst for why things went so astray. But I really did think Cloud9 were doing all the right things that round. You know, the placement of everything, getting the spike down, having superior firepower, having, you know, fairly good post-plant positioning. Seemed like they should have every edge. And then the wall breaks, and then Six just like, oh, yeah, remember me? I'm one of the best there is. And wins the round.
So 2 portions, I want to call them quadrants, but that's not right. We'll say 2 bricks of that barrier actually broke. And I think one of them broke because of the plant being too close to it. Because,
okay,
let's be honest, the Sheriff in the Classic, they're not shooting down two bits of that wall. So I think it was kind of just a flub on the plant. This time, Leaf looks to play on the opposite side of it, and plant not going to break the wall too much this time around. It is Zombs instead, but chipped away. Now Floppy blocked off, can't find a flank. Will be forced to link up the team out towards B long, but Cloud9 find themselves down a player. Hunter Shiri is available. Boy's going to get chipped away at, has a Sheriff in hand. Sick. Going to work. Boys picks up one, trying to sneak away for another, but Dapper is there to catch him on the way out, and 10s will spray him down. 2 kills at the end there to spike to be defused, and Sentinels battle back 2 in a row.
Yeah, that shock dart was more of a nuke when it fell on that man. Like, it fell right in his lap, and obviously Tins and Company spring to action off the back of that from Sick, because Sick already has Hunter's Fury available. They're going to be able to go ahead and start buying up rifles. They have an op already for Shazam. And I'm happy because we didn't really get to see Shazam do his jet opping in the previous map. They got wax. It never really came into play, let's be real. And so now to see him be able to have it defensively on Icebox, which is a lot of long lanes, you know, he feels at home here. It allows him to kind of do what he's supposed to do. The dude hasn't really got to do anything so far this map either. I mean, he's kind of not been required, so we'll see what happens against this fully bought out C9 as they try to do the 2 boost, and well, let's just say it didn't work, or at least not initially. Now all of a sudden they've reeled it right back into a 3 versus 3. Spike's making its way over to B site. No one's there to, you know, really stop this plant from going down, except for the Hunter's Fury, and that could certainly put a damper on things.
It's going to slow things down for a moment. It actually even finds a tag onto Poise, who will eventually fall. The dismiss to come through so 10s can get away. Sneaked on the other side of the boxes and can't be sprayed through. Mitch picks one up, evens the odds once more, but very low on HP as 10 sits him down, but back and forth we go. Now a 1v1. It's the imposter duel, and Sick comes out on top. Zeta, the imposter, and Sentinels to 3.
Sentinels have really kind of taken that moment where they break through a round you can never expect, and they are running with it, my man. What a shutdown at the start of that round off of that 2 boost play. And then even though they lost a couple of players initially afterwards, Shazam times 100 Street perfectly. It allows them to start setting their players up to, you know, retake just how they need to. And they get it done.
And that's so tough because Leaf goes up top. He's got a Vandal in hand, and
Right.
It's tough. You don't have that same moving accuracy that you do when you have the Phantom, so that first kill to fall really hurts, and 2 quick kills traded back, so you think at the end of the day, Dan picks up one on the lead. First to fall again, and it's a duelist going to work here for Sentinels. The Nico round, so one we're expected to head their way, but if you're Cloud9 Blue, you were hoping to do a bit of damage. It doesn't look like that's going to be the case.
No.
Zeta falls, and Floppy, not long for this world. Only able to pick up one before falling. 4 ultimates online now for Cloud9 Blue, and this might be the round we see him.
It's kind of do or die right now for Cloud9 Blue. Like, you want to get something going in this first half, and this is your first real crack at it on a full buy. Only had one prior to that, and they got rinsed in that particular situation. What I want to highlight there is obviously we saw the aggression from Tins and Shazam, what that accomplished, but also this combination of Zoms and Dapper, that Viper wall is no longer just annoying. It's punishing if you try to challenge it.
Yes.
And it really allows Dapper to set up that barrier, which you can't really shut it down because you can't really play through that Viper wall. You have to kind of spam through it or hope for the best, and it's really kind of allowing Sentinels choose to have a heavier A defense in place. It allows them to be dynamic on how they play Shazam's op, but in a way that's safe. As they're going to go ahead and put the Viper spin on A this time around to make things difficult on Cloud9 Blue trying to approach this area. They're trying to drone through it anyway, and Leaf actually steps into it. A very dangerous prospect. Hunter's Fury allowing him to kind of pave the way. That's Zeta, who tags 2 players in the process and gets one of them. Mitch combines with Poise as well, and it's looking great for Cloud9.
2 of 4 ultimates used there in that one, and the hand-in-hand from Zeta and Leaf. Unfortunately, I say his name, he gets cursed and he's taken down. Shazam hangs on to the operator, and round should go the way. That right there is just from the heavy fingers. This is I mean, you gotta be feeling some kind of way in a series
that
like this.
That had to have hurt, right? I mean, Jet's feeling that one on the forehead for sure. Oh, I'll tell you who else is feeling something. Floppy in the pit of his stomach. It's pain.
You will not
Spain without the S, and it actually forces out a resurrection. Now we're early in the game. Boys chips away at Shazam, 8 HP now. You don't want to peek it again. It's the operator. That's more than enough health to find a kill, and you would love to take this one away, but you just can't do it. Finally, they will, as Zeta finds a 3K. Now, before all that craziness happened from Shazam, Leaf pushed through the Viper's pit.
Yes.
Wasn't sure as to where anybody was playing, and there was a bit of room on the right side, and this Hunter's Fury cleared it out for him, so he was allowed to push on through and get this position on the outside, and then it all just starts to fall together. Now, that was 3 of 4 ultimates, 2 more online for Cloud9 Blue, and I'm excited to see what Floppy's going to do with this one.
And you're thinking to yourself, kind of just building off of that, that if you're Sentinels in that situation, you're thinking, okay, this Viper's pit, this is going to do wonders. And then Cloud9 Blue are just like, man, what Viper's pit? I mean, what a brilliant, risky, but brilliant exchange to get them around.
And we're starting to get a look at some of the ways to counter a very nuisance of an ult. It's the duelist for Cloud9 this time around. No longer Shazam and Tens, but Poison Leaf. Want to work on the A site. Picking up the overtime here, trying to push to 3 rounds, and only 3 remaining for Sentinels. They look to bring up the rear. Last pack is there. Resurrection queued up, but Dapper taken down. Sick will trade it back, but it's only 1 member taken off the board, and that spike is all the way on this B side. Should be a free round.
That's what I was trying to get at. Leaf did so well by himself to create pressure that everyone else could back out and reroute this spike, and so much value by that player to just cause that much of a ruckus. And now it sets them way back in a 2 versus 4 retake here on B site.
No charges.
I don't feel like Cloud9 are really in a position either to really want to go hunting because they don't want to lose their weapon. So it does look like they're just going to get far enough away from this one. Sick waiting for anybody to head that way. Zoms narrowly missing a couple of players pushing out towards mid. Either way, the spike will blow, the save to come on through, and that's one of very few objective wins we're probably going to see in this game. I think on split there was 1 objective win. Now we only got 14 rounds, but there it is. Cloud9 Blue go to 3.
We're in a game again, bro. We're in a tight contest again. We've been here before, and we're delivered it yet again. It's the Poise Leaf combo, bro. They just tore that A side apart, and again, Leaf's resonance at A to just keep applying the pressure, keep posturing up, never allowing Sentinels to feel confident to rotate, as well as getting kills. Like, that's just kind of icing on the cake at that point. It really set up that 4-on-2 post plan at B. Really good pivot from Cloud9 Blue. But a full buy is up here again for Sentinels. They're getting aggressive with Shazam's operator here on the A front. He misses a big shot. He doesn't get away. Leaf punishing that so massively.
And Tens gets spotted. Not going to be taken down. He trades back the kill. So Leaf off the board. Showstopper off the board. But that could have been huge for Sentinels to steal back some of the momentum. But instead, we find ourselves directly even in a 4v4. The game very close to being 4-4 as well. Our cover goes through. Barrier orb going to be used to try and get this plant down. Floppy will do just that. As Mitch and Poise look to go aggressive. Empress pops. The Dark going to find quite a bit of information. Dapper to find the first kill. That one coming from Snowman through that open area. Sick going to take a bunch of damage, and Poise dismisses away. Still very healthy on the Reyna and still looking to get so much done. Dapper with a nice little flank. The dismiss to get away again. Tens will fall, and this is Poise's round. He's not letting Sentinels battle back. He's looking for the tie up here.
Again, man, it's the ability of Cloud9 Blue to have such a... I don't know if feint's the right word, because usually a feint's just like a movement and you back off. It's like the follow-through to actually get it paid, to chase people down, to punish aggressive plays of your opposition, but it's still that same kind of effect of a feint where you do enough to pull rotations and like really create a vulnerability, and then their mindset to just make that quick pivot and to never hesitate on it, right? And just, you know, that's won them a couple of rounds in a row now. They've tied up the game. Money's still available for both teams to keep full buying, but money's starting to run real dry on the Sentinel side of things. I mean, this could be the 2-for-1 round for Cloud9 Blue if they play their cards right. And again, with so much on the line, with this being essentially now a best of one to determine who goes to Iceland, that's just a big time moment to happen for Poise and company.
Showstopper pop. Blast packs get onto the side. Dapper gonna be spotted out now that smoke's taken off the board. You've only got the cloud burst to work with now. Dapper is there to trade it back, but Leaf doing his job, going good for one. He got his. Now can the rest of the squad get it? Unfortunately, he got his, but it was resurrected, and Mitch doesn't have a res, won't give a life, but will take one. Shazam will fall, and we find ourselves once more in a 4v4. It was the knives online as Zeta looks to knife on through. Tens is here, though, waiting and watching. As Cloud9 Blue start to fall apart, they're down to the last two. Sick plant on the other side. Diffuser gonna be killed for a moment. Not too sure if it got halfway as Tens continue to push up. A beautiful buddy system there. The Sentinels to
I
reclaim
don't
the
know
lead.
if this is possible, but can we get a replay of that moment for Zeta? Because I don't know of a more feels bad moment than that.
Yeah.
Like, if we could just rewind the tape on that. I mean, just because we all know it's coming, right? This guy is knocking at the door. He just doesn't know what's on the other end. Like,
It's like, what is Tens doing here?
I mean, that has to hurt.
Yeah.
I know that wasn't necessarily the most important kill, but it did stop the flank, right? So they did kind of cut off one of the options on that retake. And it set them up to be able to focus fully on that long B position. So that was a little bit grueling. But a big moment for Sentinels because, again, their credits were in a very vulnerable place, right? You lose that, it's likely Cloud9 Blue lit up 6-4. Instead, Sentinels hold them off. They're able to keep a full buy rolling and able to keep the lead as well.
And that one started off decent as Leaf found the kill on the Dapper. I'm going to hold that thought. Leaf picks up another one. He is going to get tagged by the Hunter Shuri on the way out. 46 HP. Tens was here playing the buddy system. Unfortunately, not able to be the buddy that Shazam needed. A kill traded back. It's Dapper instead. Poised to fall. Leaf still stands, but he's going to be bringing up the rear with the rest of the squad as they rotate out.
Yeah, Cloud9 Blue trying to make that same old pivot move, and they're actually using Floppy's ult to try to get into defense spawn. Now, Zoms is aware of this being a possibility, and that rotation through back halls is there. And yeah, Floppy gets blindsided. He thought that maybe he could be the snake in the grass, something to blow things up, but Mitch says, that's okay, I'll take care of it. The big wall boost, he spots a player towards Kitchen. He does get caught, though, before he can escape. Now it's all on Zeta.
46 HP. It's not a whole lot to work with, but he does have a Vandal in hand. Now 23 HP cut in half as he goes toe-to-toe with Sick once more. Sick comes out on top again. Sentinels, a 2-round lead. They claim, at the very least, an even half here in the first. And it seems like they've got a pretty good read on this Cloud9 squad.
Yeah, they're starting to really, recover and settle into the game. I mean, there was those moments where Cloud9 Blue were starting to have some action-packed, 1-2 punches from Poison Leaf, the misdirection to follow it and be able to capitalize on a couple of rounds in a row and really start chipping away at Sentinel's lead. But now we've seen, again, Sentinels start to have success with their aggression. They're starting to, catch any type of gimmick that Cloud9 Blue throws at them, like that floppy ult, for example. And they're kind of firing on all cylinders at this point. That effect distribution is pretty tight. And everything's starting to, fall into place for them. But how long will that last? As Poise is absolutely doinks onto Shazam, living up to his old ladder name.
Yeah, the doink machine going right to work, and Leaf is right behind him again. It's a battle of the duelists, and Leaf not going to get traded out 1-for-1. Instead, he'll find 2 on the round. Poise still incredibly healthy as he looks to take position on top of 410. The spike is planted, and if you blinked, you missed it. The A side has been taken by Cloud9 Blue, and Sentinels find themselves in a 2v4 retake. Unfortunately, Zom's only good for a one-and-done position. Dapper now needs to do something heroic, and he doesn't spot the toesies of Poise. The doink machine at it again.
Mr. Doinker. Actually doesn't sound nearly as good. Doesn't really have the same ring to it. No. Maybe just scrap that one. Maybe don't let that one catch on. Has such impact in this round, but Leaf also doing it. It just kind of brings a smile to my face. I'm coming from a Counter-Strike background as well, and Leaf was one of those players who played for Chaos actually for quite some time, alongside Steel for a time, as well as Vanity and some other players that you see make that transition over. And he was very young, only 17 years old, and was always a really big player on that team. And to see him now move to a game where what he has to do with Raze is far different than anything he had to do in Counter-Strike, and he's really been able to adapt to that quickly. Again, he's only been on the team for what, since February, I think?
You will not kill my ally.
Very recently. As he gets resurrected, Tens took him down before. Tens will find another kill, so double kill on the duelist. Could make it a triple because of that resurrection from Poise. That Hunter Shiri going to split the uprights, not landing true this time around. And outside of the rifles and the weaponry that you've got, you don't have any ultimates on the side of Cloud9 Blue. This should be their round to win based off the arsenal alone, but things are looking a whole lot difficult as that Viper's pick goes down on B. You really have to make a play A.
Yeah, it does seem to be where they're kind of being funneled, and they've already lost a player towards this direction. Leaf, again, the guy who had the maybe potential showstopper coming into play to help unlock things, and that definitely is going to set you back a bit, considering how much impact he has had helping open up these sites. They line up, though, for Tens, but it doesn't matter. Poise still breaks through, pops the Empress. They equal the numbers. Wall is going to come up to start trying to allow some cover for a plant. The balcony push is going to be halted by Mitch, and things are looking swimmingly for Cloud9 Blue.
Mitch finally goes down, but he got another kill with just about 40 health, and Floppy is there to reclaim it. He backs up his teammate. Back and forth we go. Now in a 2v2, but things started so well for Sentinels, and it's all up to Dapper again. This time a bit more doable. But as I say it, I curse him. Zeta will pick it up. 6-6 we go at the half. It's the decider map for Iceland Dust, and we are completely even.
You couldn't ask for a better story. Again, we already kind of set it up as Sentinels being the cream of the crop, and
the spike broke all of the wall.
Okay. So that's what happened that round. That's why I was so confused. So that explains a lot. I didn't even really think about the interaction in the heat of the moment. But yeah, that's big. And then you just saw the half go back and forth. Each team kind of having their moment in the sun when it came to this first half performance. But again, you have the front runners of Sentinels, the #1 team versus the dark horse of Cloud9 Blue. You couldn't have asked for a better storyline to start intertwining between these two teams, with it going all 3 maps. And as you said, now we're all even going into the start of the second half. Both these teams, have in general been pretty good defensively on this map. But I will say Sentinel's attack on Icebox since 10 has been on board has been at that around 66% win rate. So they're going to feel pretty at home here at equal footing.
Well, I think the scariest thing, as we see that spike look to be planted towards B, pretty uncontested there as Floppy tried to take some shots. I'm really going to be leaning on Zoms here. As Zeta gonna go to work here. Taking some shots onto 10s and not expecting him in that off angle. Swung a bit too wide and will eventually fall. Now a wall in response and some shots down range. Blast packs that come on through as well. Leaf doing so much to buy time for Mitch. Unfortunately, his since fallen. The snake bite on top of it, and it's all up to Floppy. Will eventually fall. The use of the utility there, huge for Sentinels to pick up the pistol. And it was Zoms. I talked about it just before we got into all the action. You said the Viper, right? You have to, on defense, you have to play through the Viper. That's what the Viper brings to the table. On offense, it gets a whole lot harder for you to force the defense to walk through your utility. So I'm keeping my eyes there, but I think perfect. There's no way out for Mitch on that.
It does
The
make
snake bite on
diffusing
top of it
hard.
and- yeah.
Like, if you drop that poison cloud and a snake bite on the spike, good luck. The decay plus the damage of the snake bite combined, I mean, it's so hard to battle through that. You have to get her off the board almost before you even really kind of fully instill the retake and defuse, as Cloud9 and Blue have generally, you know, this year been better defensively than on attack, just kind of on average, right? So my point is they're definitely still very much in this, even as Sentinel's attacking side of Icebox has been just so potent since Tense has been a part of the squad. And again, only one loss on the map thus far. That was to 100 Thieves yesterday. Other than that, they have been pretty much flawless. 88% win rate since Tense has come along. But we'll see if that continues to ring true, as again, they have a huge edge in this round, obviously, coming into a very empty A site against a saved Cloud9 Blue, who are now just going to have to play for retake with these Frenzies and Ghosts. And you imagine that an 8 should tick up there on the scoreboard any moment now for Sentinels.
It wasn't full stack towards air. I believe 4 players for Cloud9 Blue, but the Recon Bolt had bought everybody over. That rotation to come on through now. No shots from downtown. Sick. Knocked down to 63 HP. Forced to give away the position. Unfortunately, they're not really in a great position to find a round here. Paint shells, so just about all the utility now going to be used. It's the wide swing with the Frenzy. They're able to find a couple of kills, but 3 for 2. Make it 3 for 3. And Cloud9 Blue, at the very least, making the bonus hurt. 10 still very healthy as Mitch looks to swing around the corner. The dismiss to get away, and Dapper will sit him down. It hurts a little bit, but either way, you'll take the round win for Sentinels.
Kind of the expectation, right? I mean, there wasn't really a whole lot Cloud9 Blue. Like, the only thing that they could really hope is that they'd be kind of stacked in the right place and then maybe try to run some type of death by 1,000 paper cuts type scenario, I guess you could say. But now it's time to really try to make a statement. Stop Sentinels from building the lead. Keep yourselves in a close contest. This round is big for momentum's sake and big for confidence. Okay. Get out long B pretty quickly. Wall up to try to slice their way into B site, essentially, once it gets popped here by the Viper. We're seeing that Mitch is kind of having to play back here. Able to shut down the recon vault pretty quickly. They're able to start calling for a rotation. They're able to start clearing out the mid area with that drone, but now here comes the attack. Flank from Leaf has been already caught.
Leaf was moving quick on that. Unfortunately, it does get caught out. He's not able to find too much. Just takes some damage on the way in and the way out. 6 Zoms, Dapper, Leaf, Poise, all on the board now here in this round. But Sentinels to find themselves up a player. A couple of snake bites available to Zoms and a shock dart looking to chip away. This is, again, where that Viper, you can't really disrespect her here because you have to go for the spike. And 8 seconds of time going to be bought. Zoms finds one through the toxic screen. Floppy forced to just save the Vandal here in this. Sentinels look to push to 9. And things are starting to get dire. 10 probably on the horizon based off of the economy here for Cloud9.
No, that's a fair point to make. And I think, again, it really just comes down to the fact that you have to get that Viper off the board as quick as possible in a retake. Otherwise, her utility becomes just so hard to get around. The decay and the damage of the snake bite, and just, you know, it just makes it so difficult. Your vision's being limited as well. And pushing through the wall becomes more and more of a threat. Like, it's already a threat because you are going to, you know, not know what's on the other side, but it's also that little bit of decay that you might encounter as you come through makes you a little bit vulnerable that first, like, split second as you get to the other side before you recover. And so there's a lot to kind of handle. And the Viper definitely got, finally, like, the true bust she needed to be viable. And now you're seeing the power of it. And again, Zoms, this is, I think, only his 3rd game of Viper ever, maybe? Always kind of playing the Brim and Omen, and then obviously the Astra, so a new role for him, but making it work.
Early aggression there from Floppy, just trying to catch the team off guard, and Dapper sniffs it out. Shazam picks up another. Oh my goodness! Quite possibly aim lab flick of the day there by Tens, who was Ferrari swinging through 410 and picks up a headshot. Mitch is able to grab 1 kill, but not long for this world. Floppy was the only one with a weapon.
Oh,
he
man.
went down nice and early.
I like how you're giving the free Ferrari product placement on the stream. They didn't pay for that. I don't think anyone here really in the market for one either, except for whoever makes it to Iceland, because that prize money might allow them to buy half of a Ferrari. So, I mean, like, you know, maybe it just kind of depends on what you're into, I guess. It's an app description, though. I'll give you that. And Sentinels will find double digits first here on map 3. Just now 3 away from booking their tickets to... You want to take it?
Reykjavik.
Nailed it. I wouldn't have. That's why I passed it. You know, teamwork made the dream work, baby.
Teamwork makes the dream.
Wait. No. No.
No.
No, 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 no.
way.
No, 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 no,
Thomas is
no,
coming
no,
back.
no, no, no,
Does he have
wait.
time?
What? What?
No! Oh my goodness! .02, and Sentinels pick up double digits. Mitch just needed to be a bit quicker. What did we just witness?
Oh, bro, we were sitting here having a little bit of banter, thinking it was, you know, a done deal. You know, that the final draft had already been sent to the publisher for that round, and, well, there was a couple of potential last-minute changes that needed to be made by the author, which was Mitch in that situation, but unfortunately, the ink ran out right at the last moment. What do you know? I can't believe that was even in the realms of possibility, Tanner. Imagine, I wonder if Sentinels realizes, like, just how close that was to them not winning the round.
Yeah, it looked like Zoms was going back, but then I would imagine they had said, you know, he doesn't have time. There's no way they calculated that there would be 0.02 seconds left on the clock for them to win that round or for the spike to blow.
I mean, mathematically, it only gets a little bit closer than that. Like,
yeah.
just by like a thousandth of a second or something, I get. I mean, that is unreal. As we have a little bit of a pause here. Not sure if it's attack, probably, though. Time is running out for Cloud9 Blue. If you think about it, they have a full buy here, but if they lose, they may only get 1 more, right?
Yeah.
Or they might have to just force buy the rest of the game if this doesn't work. So this is like really, I wouldn't say last chance saloon, but I mean, it's up there. As Mitch trying something a little bit gimmicky, and it kind of works, which is Sam found a pick elsewhere, and the res cancels it out.
Yeah, that stings, but that makes things look a whole lot better. Boys picks up 1, now needs to try and get away from that recon. Bolty is going to be spotted, but the information was already there, so no harm, no foul. Both Mitch and Zom's going to be in just about the same boat. No armor, lower on HP. Leaf swings for 1, but Sick is there to trade it back. A heads-up play as that spike, it's tossed on over. Viper's Pit available, and there it is, the domain expansion. For Zom says a resurrection in response, but Shazam looking to do something crazy on top of the pipes here. Picks up 1, picks up 2. It's 3 on the round, dashes away, and still so incredibly healthy. Dust, you said it. This round could really close out the entire game, and it all comes down to Poise and Mitch, who have to make their way into the Viper's Pit. And they might not be long for this world. Playing on the outside, Poise picks up Shazam. The Viper swings the dismiss to get away, but they're running out of time. 11 on the docket here as Sick picks up Mitch. Now Poise to fall again. It's 3K for 3K. Shazam and Sick will pick up 6 on the round collectively, and Sentinels push to 11.
I mean, those kills from Shazam mean everything. I mean, it's not only that he gets 2 kills and cuts with the rotation, but he gets the read that there's no flank, right? It all has to be coming from that one direction. He also gets his team a man advantage. He slows down the retake process. I mean, so many things go into those dagger kills that he gets, and it comes from a play that you don't expect in that situation, right? Like that 2 boost is kind of like an early round situation to try to get a pick up middle or maybe a pick towards B side and, you know, try to catch your opponent off guard that way, not in some type of real late round situation to just like foil a rotation. I mean, that is wild, bold, but powerful. And Leaf, oh man, that could have been a big exclamation mark if he would have landed that, but Sentinels avoid, and now they're starting to race to the finish line, man. That's a big opening pick there. They're looking for more, and they're going to get it as the aggression from Cloud9 is being halted. A couple finally come through, but Zom's able to collect the rest. It comes down to this 2 versus 1, very much in the favor of Sentinels. Spike not even required. Shazam will do the finishing duties. And so if that's it, man. One more round. That's all that's required, and the credits are still in a rocky place for several of Cloud9 Blue's players. Yes, they're able to get rifles on most of them, but it's a Spectre for Poise, it's a Guardian for Zeta.
No armor.
Yep. Also, Mitch having to go Spectre. Now they decide to do a little bit of swapping around. They're going to get armor on most of their players. But again, it's still going to be 3 Spectres at the end of the day. Zeta having to, swap back to be able to afford the shields. And here we go. This could be it. Sentinels are looking to send it to A, and they're not looking to waste any time doing it.
Looking to put a stamp in it. Looking to continue the winning ways. Sentinels over Cloud9. Leaf on the flank. Gonna pick up the first. It's a hindered economy. That's a great start here in this. As Tens looks to get that spike planted. Floppy with a huge push to find the kill, but 2 traded right back. Dapper goes up top. Now Zeta needs to go huge. This could be it. Zeta finds 1. 72 HP. This is the moment that Zeta needs. The spike is laying flat on the floor, and the Hunter's Fury is available. Recon Bolt as well. Inside the Poison Cloud, Zoms will go. Sick right behind him, playing up towards heaven. Not going to spot him out just yet. Sick does do that. Chipped away to half HP. Around the corner, and Zeta needs to hang on. A 1v1 Zoms full HP. 52 health for the Sova. As he looks to re-swing, that's going to do it. Zoms will sit him down. Sick, Dapper, Zoms, Shazam, and Tens. Sentinels, pack your bags. You're heading